What's up guys, it's Jonathan over here at Golden Press. First Q&A that we're gonna do on our channel. Let's get into it. We've been getting flooded with DMs, people asking questions of screen printing, business related, even some design and photo questions of just how we do things. So we wanted to do a Q&A to answer some of those questions. We've never done a Q&A before. Let's see how it goes. TB Builds Co. asked, if you were just starting a printing business, what would be the first thing you would invest in? If you're looking at jumping into this as a profession and have an actual shop up and running, the 3 pieces of equipment I would absolutely invest in. I would get yourself a decent press, a good exposure unit, and a conveyor dryer. Those are the 3 pieces of equipment that I recommend to get your business moving in the right direction. Papa Bear 14 asked, how do you know where to position images before you burn them on the screens? Before, how I used to burn screens, I would just take the transparency and lay it right on my platen, which had registration marks, and then I'd put the screen on that with tape to position it where I wanted it to be, whether it was a pocket or a chest print. Nowadays, I have a template on my exposure unit that I have registration marks, so I know exactly where to place those images.
SD Apparel Co. asks, what's some advice you wish you had knowing starting out, just getting my brand going? For me, I've been running a clothing brand for, a few years now. I actually did a previous clothing brand in the past. Really the biggest thing that was a challenge for me was learning how to reach people past like my 20 friends. Learn some stuff about marketing and learn, there's plenty of online classes that can teach you that. Try to create a really solid presence just on social medias. I think those are really solid things that if I would have done from the very start would have really benefited the brands and things that I've done. Dude, the bottom line is you're gonna get out of that thing whatever you put into it. And I think sometimes people think that, oh, I'm just gonna do this little side hustle, and they're only putting half of their energy into it, and they're wondering why it's not really taking off or succeeding.
Upstate Merch asks, how to manage your time with what you want and need, content versus client work. Listen here, Dylan. I don't know. We're still trying to figure this thing out, but I will tell you this, is we have really spent a lot of time sacrificing client work to do what we love here in the studio, but we're still trying to find that good balance because not all this work pays the bills.
Odd hobbies. I collect rubber ducks.
Oh, I know your odd hobby, being Corey's friend.
Dude, you're not lying. That guy's freaking weird.
Yeah, some hobbies that I'm into would be, I'm not great at this, but I like to practice handling cards and doing things like that. It's just, learning magic tricks is always a good call. It's just fun.
Skyline Fever asked, we print all of our own designs. Should I step into doing printing for others to grow more? I feel like when people are getting into screen printing, they're getting into it for 2 reasons. 1, they want to print their own brand, or 2, they want to print work for clients. I started printing work for clients first to grow my business, and then I started printing my brands. My advice would be grab a few outside clients and work with them and print their shirts. See if you like working with them. And if so, then start offering your services to anyone and everyone around. Or stay in your niche and just keep on printing your own stuff. The biggest thing is do the things that you enjoy. The Shirt Shop asked, other than local small businesses, how do you get sales outside of your city or state? What I did was I grabbed my phone, hit up all my friends that had businesses and needed shirts, just use my own network to get a client base. From there, definitely word of mouth. We all know in the printing business that after someone gets a job that they absolutely love their shirts, they tell others. And the biggest way to get sales out of state is social media. 1, it's free, and 2, it has the potential to reach thousands of people. We actually don't print that many local businesses t-shirts. We built this business on our social media online presence because I wanted to get business from anywhere and everyone. If you're not utilizing social media, you're missing out. Alaska asked, how did you guys get so handsome? I mean, don't make me blush.
I'd say I put a lot of work into my personal look. Get up about 30 minutes before I need to be in the studio so I can guarantee to show up about 15 minutes late. What I like to do is, put pants on and a shirt on, and in the wintertime, the hoodie that I wore yesterday, I typically throw that on, and then a big thing that's gonna really help my look and your look, it would be putting a hat on to just cover your hair because you've been sleeping on it all day and it's all over the place. And that's it.
We all have different things in life that we have to deal with. Some of us have different burdens than others. And, this is just a burden that I deal with on a regular basis. When you look this good, it's tough. It's real hard. That's what she said.
No time!
Ninth City Design says, do you have a P.O. box? Students may want to thank their teachers. You can send all checks to 77 East Jefferson Street, Franklin, Indiana, 46131. You don't have to send us anything. DYX Factor asked, how to scale? I know this is a loaded question, but I'd like to hear your take on it. Take a lot of risks. I knew when I hired Jared, I did not have the money coming in every month to pay him. But I believed in that new form of this business, so I hired him, took a risk, and now video is a part of everything we do. Are you moving spots soon? God, I hope so. We are busting at the seams. Yeah, just running out of space. Stay tuned. Stitches Live Screen Printing asked, are you using exclusively Plastisol? If not, what are your thoughts on water base? In this studio, we use probably about 75% Plastisol. Other percent is water base and some discharge added in there. Love Plastisol, but for brands that we print for ourselves, we try to use water base or discharge.
Not a question. You guys are awesome. Keep killing it. Tony over at Rogue Lab. Hey man, thanks. You keep killing it. You've been doing some crazy stuff with your rap videos. Like, he's not a rapper, but he's a rapper. You guys, okay. So he's actually been doing like interviews with like other people in like the vinyl rap industry, which is pretty cool. Fun fact, I actually used to do vinyl rap. So I've actually watched several of your videos because it was fun to kind of go back and watch that stuff and bring back those memories.
Sadrack 12? Am I saying that right? Sadrack?
Samsonite. I was way off.
Asked, what business advice would you give another shop that is going on 2 years of being open? You're doing something right. Your doors are still open. So keep on doing what you're doing and make sure you love it.
We got a question from Jason Harper that says, what are some of the biggest mistakes newbies make when starting an online shirt biz? Something I've seen a lot would be people, they take all these photos, they do these photo shoots and that kind of thing, and they have all these shots of their product, and then they only post that product one time on their Instagram or whatever, and they're wondering, man, why aren't people buying my shirts? Why aren't people checking out my stuff? I like to often look at the feed that I've posted and be like, okay, like 5 posts ago, I posted about windbreakers. On my feed, there's only 2 posts about windbreakers, so I should probably post about these again to just get that fresh in people's eyes again. You know, as the brand owner, we sometimes get saturated with our own content where we're like, I know we have windbreakers. Why doesn't everyone else know we have windbreakers? It's because you haven't posted enough. So I highly recommend, frequent posting, and don't get hung up that like, oh, I already posted a picture of that shirt. Like, maybe don't post that one back to back, but it's okay to post it every other one, man. Get your stuff in front of people's eyes is a big thing. I don't know if it's a mistake, but it's something that I see happen a lot, is just brands not taking themselves seriously. We want people to think we are a massive brand, and so we act as if we are. We create content that looks like, you know, the top tier brands are creating. We want to make our products and everything just look very top tier. So we put in the extra effort and put in the subtle little details to make our brand look more professional. You know, it's like this old saying of like, dress for the job that you want. And so like, take your brand seriously, show up, even if you are just printing out of your house or your garage or something, dude, still take it seriously, work at a top tier level.
JR the screen printer asks, where do you see your shop in the next 5 years? Automatic machine maybe? I will just tell you and spill the beans, yes, we will more than likely go automatic, but we're also gonna stay close to the DNA, which I wanted to open up 100 manual shops that is underneath Golden Press's name. Still my goal, gonna do it. Faithful Fittings asks, what's the greatest fear you have in the screen printing business? Someone breaking in and stealing all of our stuff. If you even think about it, I have a security camera on my phone, I can see you, don't think about it. Gilly asked, how do you capture content and still give time to help in the shop? That's the main reason why I hired Josh, was we kind of hit this bottleneck of, you know, we needed to get orders out the door, but we needed to film for a video for our channel and all that. We're constantly trying to find that balance of doing stuff for us and client work and just making them all merge together.
Will you do a video showing how you get your designs onto screens? Asked Ashley Mather. Ashley Mather, I'm guessing. Will you do a video showing how you get your designs onto screens? Probably. Yes. Yes. So old kid Sampao, I don't know, his name is Melvin from Cameroon. That's in Africa, I believe. Need help with plastisol inks not flowing through the screen. Being the super experienced screen printer I am, which I'm not, should I answer this? I feel like somebody else should. I'm not the guy for this. Recommend lowering your mesh count. Depends on what is your mesh right now? What is it? What number are you using? I don't know these things. Also, a thing I've heard of is modulation, where you're mixing your ink before you start, because if you don't, you'll be trying to get concrete going through those screens, and that's not what you want to do. So make sure you got good modulation, and let's talk about your mesh counts. Send us a message. Let's talk a little bit more. So Gilly asked what our workday process is for videography, social media, and printing. So it depends on what projects we have going on, but we're typically always, it's a balancing act, right? We're always trying to find what's a great day to film, whether if it matches up with this job, or you know, we need photos of this. It's constantly going back and forth. For a while, we were posting videos on Wednesdays, but we moved those to Fridays because it fit better within our week. We wanted to make sure that we have enough time to shoot, edit, but also jobs are getting printed, Corey's getting the photos and stuff that he needs. And then as far as social media strategy within all that is, we have certain like blocks of time that we'll try to attack those things, but sometimes it's just like whenever we can.
Something as the photographer that I try to keep in mind is, what I like to do is take a lot of photos at a time, edit them all up, and have a lot of photos on stock. So I encourage you for social media stuff to backlog your content. There's some days where I'm working on designs all day and don't have time to take photos, but luckily yesterday Jonathan was printing and I took a bunch of photos of him from a lot of different angles and different elements of the prints that we were doing that day and edited those up, and then we have a backlog.
Fabian Enrique asks, what lighting do we use in the shop and why is it so bright? So Jonathan has harnessed the sun and placed it in the middle of the room. It's aggressively bright. He's got like almost 40 different light bulbs in the studio. The key is that they're all set to the daylight temperature, so it's a very like bright white light. Yeah, it's aggressive. It's a little too aggressive at times. Personal opinion.
Just in case you were wondering why we're set up right here, is because someone forgot the closing of this video.
I didn't forget. I intentionally wanted it in a different location.
Negative. You already took down the light, and we were going and
just outro the video.
Thanks guys so much for sending your questions. Hope we answered a few of them. Hope you learned something from them. Hope they helped you. If they did, leave us a comment. If they didn't, leave us a comment. Thanks guys. See you later.
How did you guys get so handsome? Alaska, I've never met you, but my wife's gonna want to have some words with you after, speaking those kind of words to me. Do you use effing for athletic polyester? If so, can you use with Wilfex Poly White? So, I don't know crap about that. Sorry. Your pal Rob, can you... I'm not reading that. Tony over at Rogue Lab doesn't have a question. Then what are you doing, man? It's a Q&A. Like, what's the... why do you give me these things to read, Jonathan? This guy's breaking all the rules. What's the point? Screw you, Tony.